Hey guys, NNY27WS 2009 here, and I am back with some more Trade Machine. And what I'm going to be doing now for the next 3 days in preparation for the NBA draft is I'm going to be doing some NBA draft trades. You need to keep in mind I am using the ESPN Trade Machine, and it does not show picks, so I'm just going to tell you the picks. So don't just take the trade on the screen for what it's for, because you'll be like, for this first one, this is only a crazy man would give up Josh Smith for this, but they would be getting a pick too. So today will just be it will be 5 trades. I'll be doing it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Today will just be different guys, no particular theme. Tomorrow it's going to be all Pal Gasol, who's been, very talked about and being traded. And then Wednesday it's going to be Dwight Howard, and we all know how interesting that could turn out. So going on to the first trade, it is between the Sacramento Kings and the Atlanta Hawks. The Kings would get Josh Smith and Marvin Williams, and the Atlanta Hawks would get Marcus Thornton, Francisco Garcia, who is actually a small forward, and Hassan Whiteside. They would also get the number 5 overall pick in this year's draft. Again, I cannot show that. The trade machine does not let me. The Hawks really don't like Josh Smith. He doesn't like them. They need a real center with the 5th overall pick. This would probably happen like when the Kings are on the clock, because the Hawks would need to know for sure they would be able to get Andre Drummond. With this trade, they would cut ties with the awful number 2 overall pick that was Marvin Williams, and they could move Al Horford to power forward, his more natural position. Meanwhile, the Kings would dump Marcus Thornton. He's a great scorer, but he's in the way of Tyreek ever since he got traded to them, which was a pretty good trade for them. Tyreek Evans has just not been able to do his thing. Francisco Garcia is old, and they really have had enough of him. And then Hassan Whiteside is just sort of like a cap filler. All right, and they would give up the number 5 pick, but they are seriously considering moving it anyways, and getting a player like Josh Smith to pair in the front court with DeMarcus Cousins, and then you got Tyreek in the back court. That'd be a pretty good starting block for them. All right, on to the next one. Ooh, I did not try this trade out. It should work. Okay. This is between the Bulls and the Bobcats. The Bobcats would get Luol Deng and Ronnie Brewer, and the Bulls would get Corey Maggette, Bismack Biyombo, and the number 2 overall pick. I think the Bobcats would probably want the Bulls' crappy end of the round pick anyways, but the Bulls realize their only tradable assets are Noah and Deng, and other than Taj Gibson and Omer Asik, but they're not nearly as worth as much as Deng and Noah. I would hate to see this trade happen because I love Luol Deng, but they really would like a shooting guard, and with number 2 they could grab Bradley Beal right away. While the Bobcats would get a really good, a top 5 starting small forward, and a good defensive player in Ronnie Brewer, and they just cut ties with the atrocious number 6 picks that was Bismack Biyombo. I mean, this guy says he's 19. I think he's 31. The way he's talked about rotary phones and his grandkids teaching him the game. I mean, that should be a huge red flag. And then they would also dump Maggette's salary. I would hate to see this happen, but the Bulls could get that number 2 pick to get that shooting guard they've long been waiting for, so it could happen. And, Deng just said he wouldn't be surprised by a trade, so. Alright, this is between the Raptors and the Philadelphia 76ers. The Raptors would get Andre Iguodala and the 76ers 17th overall selection, and the 76ers would get Bargnani, James Johnson. I'm going to try and focus in a little bit more so you guys can see the names a little. Yeah, Mike, I apologize, my camera's not good at reading screens, but they would also get James Johnson and they would get the number 8 overall selection. 76ers have said they think Iguodala is impeding the progress of their 2 young players in Evan Turner and Drew Holiday, and they would like to get rid of him. And meanwhile, Thaddeus Young, who's a great power forward, he doesn't really offer much outside of his post game and a little bit of a mid-range jumper. So a power forward / center like Bargnani, who's a big finesse guy, would sort of help. And then with the 17th overall selection, the Sixers could probably grab another post player, maybe someone like Henson. I don't know if they would want to guard, given that they're trading Iggy away to get, so Holiday and Turner can develop. But I doubt Barnes will be there. Maybe they make another trade to move up, so they make sure they get Barnes. I don't know. But then the Raptors could go ahead and grab someone down at number 17. Maybe if Terrence Jones is still around. Sullinger would be, I think, Jonas Vasilic or something like that. He was their number 5 pick last year, number 5. And he played overseas. He's 20 years old. Him and Sullinger, I think, would make an awesome court deal. If they could get Iggy, Sullinger, and that Jonas, whatever guy, I can't pronounce his name to save my life. But that would be an awesome, awesome building block for Toronto. So, on to the next trade. What the hell? Okay. Something got screwed up. That trade's gone, so whatever. On to the next trade. The Sacramento Kings would get Rudy Gay, and I know it's the Kings again, but they are really trying to move their pick, so I tried to make it as realistic as possible. And the Grizzlies get Thornton in the number 5 pick. Once again, the Kings are trying to move their pick, and they dump Thornton to make way for Tyreek. And the Grizzlies said they were sort of suffering an identity crisis last year. Do they just keep dumping it down low with Gasol and Randolph, or do they let Gay do his stuff? All 3 are great players. Thornton would almost serve as a replacement to O.J. Mayo, and with the number 5 pick, I think they could grab Barnes as a successor to Gay. Meanwhile, the Kings get a proven young player, the pair with Tyreek and DeMarcus Cousins. Well, not really pair at that point, to just join. I'm not really sure what verb I would use for the 3. That's it for today. The video's getting pretty long anyway, so even if I did have this mysterious 5th trade that got cleared somehow, stupid ESPN, it would probably be almost 10 minutes, and I'm sure that's way too long. I should have a mail day today or tomorrow from Taka Tanaka Giants. It's coming in from Japan, and tomorrow will be the Pau Gasol one, and Wednesday will be the Dwight Howard. So thanks, guys. See ya.